Hi, welcome back. For those of you who are new, I'm very happy to have you here. Subscribe to the channel. Now, you'll be told misleading stories about money, finance, and business every day and everywhere. Here are the top 7 myths in finance that you need to be aware of. Now, the first one is you need money in order to make money. This one might have been true in the past, and it's very likely something your grandfather used to tell you, but it's definitely not true anymore. You can start with zero money nowadays, especially with the technology that we have available. Let's say you wanted to open a clothing store, for example. What would you need if this was in the past? You would need to find a place. You would very likely need to sign up some expensive lease long term. You would probably do some, construction work, some interiors and stuff, some improvements. And you would need to build inventory in order to open. And this whole thing before you even get to test your idea if it's going to work or not. Now, the alternative nowadays is a website, some photos of the products that you're going to sell, some social media marketing, and this is absolutely enough for you to test your idea. And the good thing is that you don't even need to build inventory before you start actually making sales online. You don't even need to sell physical products. It's the same thing with services. In 2020, just the beginning of the pandemic, I was made redundant. And instead of sitting on my hands, what did I do? I learned about video creation, I learned about photography, I learned about digital marketing. I was reading every single day, watching YouTube videos, reading articles, and those are absolutely for free. So this actually helped me develop the skills that I need, and now I do have marketing agency, and this is not only a profitable side hustle, but also expanded my horizons, expanded my ability to earn more money, and expanded my connections. Because of this business, I met with very interesting people that became my friends to this day. People continue to think that they need tens of thousands of pounds or dollars in order to start their side hustle, when you can actually start small. And absolutely every single one of us have some type of competitive advantage that can be transferred to others. The second myth is that using debt is very dangerous. It's only dangerous if you don't know how to use it. Debt indeed can ruin your financial well-being, but on the flip side, if you know how to use it, it can make you a lot of money. Now, how to decide which use of debt is good and which one is bad? Let's say, good rule of thumb is that if you use debt for spending, it's a bad use of debt. Spending like the latest iPhone, the Armani jacket that you wanted, taking out personal loan to buy a car, this is bad use of debt. If you, however, start using debt for the accumulation of assets, for the accumulation of equipment that will make you more efficient, that will increase your output in whatever you're making, or if you buy something that will start producing income by itself, I think it's very safe to say that this is good use of debt. Of course, the ultimate test will be if this additional output or if this income produced by this asset is going to exceed the cost of debt that you're paying in the form of interest. Myth number 3 is that getting rich is easy. And let me tell you, I think many people mistake that it's easy to start nowadays. The barriers of entry to businesses and side hustles are at the lowest level they've ever been. And people mistake that with actually being easy to make money, to start earning income from the side hustle or from the business. And this, my friend, isn't the case. And I think fake gurus from the internet don't help at all people to understand what it actually takes to build something from the ground up. Building a business, building something that actually starts consistently generating you income, starts with commitment, starts with a promise of hard work, starts with the promise of continuous improvement. And once you're already in the arena, once you're in the field and you're practicing, you're improving your craft, you're being adaptive to different situations. From this point on, it's only a matter of making more good decisions than you make bad ones. But it's definitely not easy, this thing. And can every one of us get rich? Can every one of us start a business and be successful? Absolutely, we can. The opportunity is there. Will actually every one of us make it? No, absolutely not. Side hustles, businesses, entrepreneurship in general, it simply isn't for everyone. It might not be for me, I don't know, like we will see. But one thing is for sure, it isn't easy. Myth number 4, everything is luck. You just need to be at the right place at the right time and luck will hit you in the head. it's just this is annoying to me, honestly. Of course, you cannot deny the factor of luck. Luck exists. It's undeniable that you need some levels of luck, but I see it in a slightly different way. To me, luck happens when opportunity meets preparation. So I would rather be on the safe side, do my part without actually expecting anything, just so I know that when opportunity comes, when luck comes, I'll be able to realize that this is it, and I will grab it and I will try to make the most of it. I don't know who said that, but I remember this saying, the harder I work, the luckier I get. And my take on that is that the more prepared I am, the luckier I get. Be mindful that luck exists, it's a real thing, but do your part first, and do your part without actually expecting anything in return. And let me tell you, life has some amazing and strange ways to present opportunities to you. Just trust the process. Myth number 5 is stop renting and start buying. You just need to buy yourself a home. This is a big one, honestly, and I have very strong belief that this is simply not true. This is a bad advice that puts very many young people into debt, into unnecessary debt, and actually ruin their opportunities for future development. Honestly, this is my opinion. You simply don't need to buy yourself a home. You don't need to get the biggest loan that you will probably get in your life if you're not ready to it. You simply don't need to follow the crowd. By renting, you might be paying someone else's mortgage, but rent gives you flexibility. And if you're in this position, you're young, you're out of university, for example, even if you graduated years ago, but you still haven't figured out what to do with your life, what to do with your career, you're on the crossroad still. This is the worst time to buy yourself a property. Decide on those important decisions first, and then look into potentially getting a mortgage. Rent is absolutely good enough for people, and many need to realize that having a house is not an asset, it's actually a liability. Now, having 2 houses is a different game, because one to live in, one to produce income. I just need to be clear that I'm not against investing in real estate. Actually, I think this is one of the safest ways to build wealth. But you just need to time it. You need to wait for the time where you're ready, where everything is kind of like together for you, and you have a clear picture of why you're getting the mortgage, why you're buying this house. Up until that point, rent is your solution, my friend, because you're flexible. If you see hit in your income, in your earnings, you can downgrade, for example. It's not that easy to sell a big house and buy a new one. Selling a house might, take 6 months. So do yourself a favor. Please don't follow the crowd. Think with your head and don't buy until you're ready. Myth number 6 and 7 are entirely focused on investing in the stock market, and I find those fascinating. Myth number 6 is sell where you still can. Now, this thing gets on my nerves so much, because everywhere you see sell. The biggest recession, we expect the biggest recession that humanity has ever seen, the biggest recession in history. The stock market is going to free fall. We expect 50-40% correction. Bad news everywhere. And I would say to you, please get away from the noise, because this is exactly that. This is a noise, media noise. Let me tell you, bad news and drama sells. It generates clicks and attracts attention. It is definitely not the best thing to be watching or to be listening to for you, 100%. Even financial influencers in the recent years, and I'm not talking about some dodgy people, I'm talking about some good financial influencers that even I follow. They started using this to generate clicks. Have you seen those dramatic titles? Oh no, the Fed just flipped the market, the market flipped, the economy is on the brink of recession. It's all negative, and this is affecting you negatively. This affects negatively your money as well. Let me tell you the truth. Can it get worse? Absolutely, 100% it can get worse. Can we see a correction 40 or 50% in the stock market? 100% possible. It is possible. It might happen, it might not. but it is possible. The opportunity is there. You can see the stock market free falling. But those kind of events needs to be into your investment strategy, needs to be accounted for into your investment strategy in the first place. So you need to be prepared. And for me, it's fascinating how everyone is running to the mall when you have some clothing, some clothing on discount. But when it comes to stocks, buying stocks on discount when the markets are low, everyone is actually pulling money from the market and staying away and say that, oh no, I'm going to stay away. I'm not entering now because it's not safe, too volatile. Let me tell you, the biggest upward swings in the stock market happened very close to the biggest downward swings as well. So by putting your money out of the market, you're risking very, very big returns. And I will give you some statistics here. I'm going to show you some articles, some data, and I will let you make your mind whether you should stay invested or you should try to time the market. Okay, let's look at the data. In the last 40 years, the best 10 days out of more than 10,000 days accounted for almost 2/3 of the stock market returns for the entire period. In the last 20 years, the best 10 days accounted for 75% of the returns, which means, let's say, the value of the S&P 500 rose 284% in the last 20 years. And this is not taking into account dividends. Without the 10 best days, the number is just 76%. So you have 76% instead of 284% rise. If you pull your money out of the market and miss the best 10 days, you have the opposite as well. To be fair, the opposite side of the argument is true. If you miss the 10 worst days, you will be better off, of course. But the thing is, can you miss the 10 worst days? Can you time them? Can you predict when the worst 10 days are going to be? On top of that, as we mentioned, the 10 best and the 10 worst days are usually very close together. The biggest upward swings in the market are happening in periods of high volatility. Periods of high volatility are the scariest for investors. This is usually exactly when you will be very tempted to pull your money out of the market. But this is when you will miss on the 10 best days as well. In fact, the 9 out of 10 best days in the past 20 years happened either around the financial crisis of 2008-2009 or around the pandemic that started in 2020. And let's continue with the article. It is impossible to time the market, and those who try generally end up well behind those who just remain invested. This is because selling out of fear tends to keep investors out of the market for far too long, and they end up giving up a lot of ground in the early days of a subsequent recovery on the stock market. And have a look at this graph. It's very visual, and it represents actual human behavior. And let's continue. Even the chance that someone will have a negative return in any holding period longer than 7 years is less than 1 in 10. So, for any holding period in the history of stock market longer than 7 years, you have 1 in 10 chance to have at all negative return overall. The chance for negative returns goes up when you start shortening the time frame. So investing, as we all know, investing is not trading. Investing is not timing the market. Investing is time in the market. Think about having crash in the market as your opportunity to average out your positions, your opportunity to buy on discount. Myth number 7, probably the biggest one so far. This time is different. It's very common active managers to come and tell you next 5-10 years are going to be transformative for this industry. We know that these stocks are going to explode in the following decade. And yes, they use words like explode, some powerful words. This is all creativity. In fact, the biggest creativity you could possibly think of can be found in the projections of asset managers and company executives. And this happens when they need to generate some funding, when they need to attract assets. It becomes, however, increasingly hard to believe those people, some of those people, of course, when you look at their track record, because many important people in the industry rely on the short-term memory of people. So if you try to zoom out actually and look what happened in the What happened with the previous projection? What happened in the past 5 years? What happened in the past 3 years even? You will start discovering some stuff, and let me tell you, facts, numbers speak way louder than any promise that you can hear on the news or in any presentation. If you want to learn more about investing for beginners and all that good stuff, watch this video next. And if you want to jump straight to ETF investing, this video will actually teach you everything you need to know. That being said, I spent quite a lot of time and effort making those videos, so subscribing and liking the videos will be highly appreciated. I hope you learned something today, and I will see you in the next one.